Hey everyone, how you doing? Rick here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. This is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. I want to reach out and say a great big thank you for watching our YouTube video here. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you subscribing to our channel. If you've not subscribed, reach over to that subscribe button. Go ahead and just click on it, and well, you're subscribed. That simple. No, I appreciate it. Let's see here. I do want to remind everybody that this Tuesday night, that's tomorrow night, and that will be February 23rd. So tomorrow night, Tuesday, February 23rd at 8 p.m. Everybody is invited to the open trading room, and what we're going to do is a blue ice failure kind of refresher. Look at charts, and like I said, kind of a refresher class, and just make sure we're up on it. I mentioned it in last night's video, and the market might be setting up with some short plays now. In fact, we're going to look at a few tonight that are set up in that blue ice failure. Well timed. We'll see what happens, but well timed. All right, and one last thing, I want to remind everyone we still have the 30-day trial available. Check down below in the chat area, and you'll find a link for that. And I'll also put a link for the for tomorrow night's blue ice failure refresher. I'll put that down in there as well. Now remember, that's Tuesday, February 23rd. Okay, so this video. The reason I'm emphasizing that is this video is going to be on this YouTube channel for an awfully long time, and I just want to make sure you've got the date right. February 23rd, 8 p.m., 2021. Alrighty, let's get started here. So, looking at the SPY here, I got to tell you, we're looking a little suspicious, if you ask me. Just a tiny bit suspicious, getting kind of rounded up here. We've got this candle here that put in a top. We rallied up with no success whatsoever, and we put in a top, and then we've rallied to the downside and tried to put in we just had another failure right in here. And if you take a look at today, let me make this a little larger. There we go. If you look at today, that didn't exactly go very well for the bulls today. Let me break this down a little bit. Let's push this into a 3-bar chart. And a 3-bar chart, kind of interesting. You can see how here we are up into this area, then all of a sudden we gapped to the downside, and you can see the bulls brought it up, and we gapped right back down. The bulls brought it up, and we gapped right back down. And the bulls tried to bring it up today, but they didn't quite get high as these over here did, and they brought us right back down. This blue line, that's the 50-period moving average on the 3-bar chart, or the 130-minute chart is what it is, and it breaks the daily candle down into 3 pieces. So looking a little suspicious right in here. Back to the daily real quick. There we go. So we closed just ever so slightly underneath the Trendicator. If we're down below the Trendicator tomorrow, it will turn red. If that happens, well, there's that 50-period moving average again. There's a real possibility we get down there. Now, there's a lot of room for this thing to stop and find its footing. There really is. There's several areas that, we could climb in here and say, hey, there's support right there, or there's support right here, or support right in here. We can put as many lines up as we want for support. We can put, well, anything. The thing is, support is some support line that is tossed up there means absolutely nothing if we don't get price to agree with it. So the key is going to be the price action here. We're going to have to watch that. And if it just continues to weaken up and do the same thing it's been doing, well, it just might get down there. So let's be a little cautious, be a little careful, make sure that we're in the positions we want to be in. That's what I'm going to do. We did buy a couple today, and we did close out a bunch today for some profits, and we even closed a couple out for some losses. But overall, it was a darn good day for us. And after last week, I'm I'm glad. So we're back in the saddle here. All right, let's take a look at some trades. I do have some longs and some shorts that we'll take a look at here, and I'm going to just jump through these really quick for us tonight. GKOS. Whoops. You know what? I just noticed that earnings is on the 25th. That's just 3 days away, so forget this one. I'm going to unflag it. I should have noticed that earlier. My apologies. So let's take a look at Starbucks. So Starbucks here, you can see that we've put in this top here. We've started to roll over, and we're under that 50-period moving average right now. So this is set up for a blue ice failure, or sometimes what we refer to, which not too often, is the rounded top breakdown, I guess, because the blue ice failure is very much like the rounded bottom breakout. Actually, I should say that the other way around. Blue ice failure was here long before the rounded bottom breakout, and so it's much like that. Sorry, otherwise I'm going to get into the weeds here. So let's just take this blue ice failure here. So here we've been up. You can see the overall trend is up, and now we're underneath that 50-period moving average. So what I would like to see is a little bit of strength up here and then failure to the downside. That would just be sweet for a blue ice failure. But I'm not gonna worry about it. If we just start selling to the downside and I can catch it early enough, then I'm certainly going to look at a short in that area. So let's do, or in that area meaning just below that candle. So here, let's do this. We're just going to wrap that candle in price. I'm not going to do this to everyone tonight. Pretty easy. If you have any questions, you can absolutely ask me in the trading room. I'd be more than happy to help out with this. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put a stop in. And actually, I think I'm going to put a stop in just about this level right here. Just about right there. We'll go ahead and paint that up. We'll paint that red. There we go. So I'm going to look for a buy in this area here. Well, actually, you know what? We could just go ahead and go all the way up with it. So I'll buy in this area. What I'll end up doing is a put in this area, and then we'll look for it to run to the downside and then be stopped out in case it starts moving up around that 103.75. And as always, we will adjust this stop depending exactly where we bought it. Here's a long trade, KOP. This was tossed out by one of the members of Hit and Run Candlesticks. Thank you very much. Nice chart. Doggone it. Here's another one. Man, I do apologize. I didn't pay much attention to their earnings today. So let's get rid of that one. And I'll tell you what I'll do. We're going to put another long in here. Here's one right there. CMCSA. This is one I actually went long on today. And here we closed above the T-line after all this resistance in here. Testing, couldn't get through. And then here we broke out. We pulled back and we tested that support, that what was resistance, tested it, and so far it looks like it's going to act as support. We're right down here on the Trendicator, the green dots, and like I said, closing above the T-line. We've got a nice little bullish engulf, so what I need to see is trading to the upside. Now, earlier today, what I had said was I'm going to buy this, but it's going to have to close above the T-line, and it did that, so I kept it. But for a stop, I'm actually going to drop my stop down. Now that it's done that, I'm going to drop my stop down here to below the Trendicator I'm gonna run right down to the low of today's candle. We're gonna paint this up red. Always do that. And then we're gonna put a buy box in here, because if it does pull back and get into this area, and maybe maybe it pulls back for a day or two, and then all of a sudden the buyers start stepping in down here, I just might add to this position down here. Okay, let's take a look at Nike. Finally, one doesn't have earnings. I do apologize. I should have watched that. So Nike here looks like we're putting in a pretty good little top. Let's just get rid of that. We don't need it. There's the 50 period moving average right there. We've got a bearish engulf. We have follow through. I think if we come back up over today's candle, that would probably indicate that the bulls are getting a little too powerful. Not that they can take it up, but I'm not willing to risk that. So with a stop of 141.75 up here in this area, we'll put the buy box in here just like this. And I will look for a buy on an inside day for a short now. And then we'll look for that to move to the downside. Now tomorrow night, what I'll be doing is we'll be talking about this blue ice failure. We'll get a little more in the weeds on it. And we'll also be looking at using the 200 period moving average and the dotted deuce tomorrow as well with that blue ice failure. And I'll be explaining that tomorrow night on the class that we'll be doing. All right, let's move back over here. Here's the SPY. Let's take a look at this. Now, here's a SPY. We've already looked at it. You can see how toppy it's getting. And today's candle didn't exactly handle itself very well. And based on today's candle and based on the price action and chart pattern, I just would not be surprised if we don't see a little bit of a lower low. Now, honestly, I don't have a clue where it's going to close, and I honestly don't think too many people do either. But just the chart pattern is pointing to a lower low. So there's a chance it gets down to the 50 here, but there is an awful lot of support along the way that could stop this from moving down. So what I did today at the close, based on this chart, is I bought some SPY puts on this. What did I buy here? I ended up buying the April 400s. So if we start to get a little move to the downside, I'll watch that. As long as it continues to stay bearish, I'll hang with it. If it starts showing me that the bulls are stepping in, I will be out of it and take my profits. Just on a little side note, VXX here. Take a look at the 3-bar chart. I should have showed this in the beginning. Sorry. You can see that we have a low, high. We have a higher low, and we actually have a higher high here. So that's setting up pretty nice. Now, we've seen VXX set up nice before and totally fall apart. So just because it's set up nice doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. One other thing I like about this chart right now is we've got this Morningstar set up. Not only do we have a Morningstar set up, but we also closed over that first bar on the Morningstar setup. And to me, that's something very bullish. That's something that I like. That's a trade that I would trade. If we continue to show strength here, I'll be watching somewhere around the 1620. If we can get through 1620, then there is that possibility we get up here toward that 50-day period moving average here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, this is one of the things I was looking at when I decided to grab some of these SPY puts here. That and this chart pattern. Maybe we get a little action to the downside and put a nickel in the pocket. Who knows? Let's take a look at AT&T for a long. AT&T, we've got a pretty nice little bottom right in here. And now you can see how we rallied up and we've pulled back buyers stepped in today. With all this, let's just take this from this area here, and I'm just gonna go down to these tops. I'm not gonna worry too much about this area. I mean, where are you gonna put it? We're gonna put it on this top. You're gonna put it on this candle, this candle. Who knows? I'm just gonna go from here down, and we can clearly see that to make any real money here, it needs to break out. We can also see that this trend is working there. So we've got this little wedge in there. It's possible I look for a buy inside that wedge or a buy outside that wedge, depending on how the overall market is acting and how of course, AT&T is handling itself. And when we do, then we will put our stop in there accordingly. So we'll be watching this chart. We'll be watching for the alert coming from live trading alerts. Give us that clue that it's time to go look at it again. And once it is bought, we will look at putting a stop in here. PTON, the love for PTON just might be coming to an end. You know, I said a while ago that Peloton, they're going to make great clothes racks one of these days. It's going to be like all home exercise equipment. It's all great until, and then it just becomes a great place to put your dirty clothes, your clean clothes, junk, whatever. And it's not feeling too much love right now. So I'm watching this one for a nice little short. I would love to see it pop back up, and I would have loved to got in it earlier today, but you know, it is what it is. Can't catch them all. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch for a little inside day, a little rally on this, and let's put a stop in here. I'm actually going to put my stop right there, which means we can go ahead and bring this up. Now I know that's a whole lot of space in there. That's almost 18% from this bottom to this top. I don't know where we're going to end up buying it. I do not know. I'm going to watch for price action. I'll watch for the candle pattern, the alerts, and then we'll look at buying it at the right time. Now, of course, another place that this can also be bought that we might look at is if it starts breaking down through today's low. If it starts breaking down through today's low, we can also look for that area as a short as well. And then for the time being, we'll just look for about 109 for a target down here. Plug, and then Tesla's coming up. Plug may be setting up for a short. Here's a little downtrend line here. We rallied to the downside, hit the 50. We popped up, and now we're back down through that 50 period moving average. If it starts moving up past, probably around 57.90, that might be a clue that the buyers are coming back in. So I don't know if we would want it up there. Let's put the buy box in here like that right there. Again, I know that's pretty wide, but we don't know exactly where the buy is. And of course, it can always be bought on the breakdown through today's low. So a couple of places, possible buying. There's always a possible buy inside the buy box. And then there's always the possible buy on a breakdown below the previous day's low. Just like we would, if buying long, we'll buy in the buy box or on a breakout. Tesla's not looking so good here. So we might shop for some Tesla, and we're just gonna do the same thing. Let's come in here and put a line that would tell me where the buyers might be taking control. How about around 70.90? We'll put the buy box in there just like that, and we will follow that price action in there, and or if it breaks down below the lows, we'll be looking for a short on Tesla. Starbucks is one that's not acting too good. You can see here, let's just move this up for a second. You can see we've got a top, a top. Here we've rolled back down below that 50-period moving average. I'm going to put this back in there, about right there. There's the buy box. And of course, if it comes back over about this 103.80, buyers might be taking control back. We'll also be looking for a breakdown below today's low. Disney had a great time here today. So on Disney, here we've popped up over the 50-period moving average after a nice little trend up, rallied up, and then we pulled back to the 17. Let's throw a line in here on these tops, and you can see where that support is. Very nice support here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. Great bullish engulf today. Look at the volume on this thing. Nice. So we're going to do the same thing, just in reverse. We're going to put the buy box in here. Let's paint this red, just like that. And just to keep us in the same way we've been doing tonight, we're also could be looking for a buy on a breakout. I'm going to put it right there. So in a perfect world, I'd love to see a buy in the buy box and then have it rally up, break out, and rally up. But if we don't buy it in here, it's just because it's in there, no guarantee we're going to buy it. Then we may wait for that breakout, and we might buy that breakout. Below 182, I'm probably not going to like this trade for a long at this time. And then I think we already looked at CMCSA. So let's go back to the SPY really quick here. Again, like I said, this is looking a little suspicious. I know the bulls are tough. They really are. They don't want to let go. I know we've got the whole stimulus thing coming down the road, and that could really prop this market up. And we'll make those adjustments at that time. But right now, all I can do, each and every day, all I can do is what the chart is telling me. And I'm seeing this real suspicious top looking here. Today did not act very good, and we actually closed below the Trendicator here. So I'm a little bit nervous on this. So that's why we did take them, put some SPY puts on, and we did close up some bullish positions just to protect that money we had out there on risk. Never want to risk good green money. So I pulled some of that off. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. Thank you very much for watching the video. I do appreciate it. And again, if you've not subscribed to our channel, just reach over there and click that subscribe button. It's painless. I hope to see you here tomorrow. Hope to see you in the trading room. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care.